Good afternoon, honored guests. Welcome to Government House. My name is Amanda Campbell. I'm the Deputy Private Secretary and Director of Communications here at Government House, and delighted to be your MC today. May I ask that everyone, if you're comfortable doing so, please rise for the entrance of the Honourable Janet Austin, Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, the official party, and recipients. Please remain standing for the national anthem. Thank you. May we please have a round of applause for the talents of our piper today, Mr. Bob Glazier. And now, Edie DuPont and Attila Fias will lead us in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Edie and Attila. You may now be seated. I'd now like to introduce to the stage and invite Ms. Caroline Morris for a traditional welcome to Government House today on the traditional lands we are.
Good afternoon. My name is Caroline Morris. I'm a member of the Songhees First Nation. I'd like to formally welcome you to the Songhees territory. We share the territory with the Esquimalt Nation and the Nojilno people of the four tribes of Saanich, the Saanich Peninsula. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you as you celebrate your success and achievements. I encourage you to continue moving forward in a positive direction and always keeping your heart and mind strong and open. Welcome to our territory. Thank you. Hachka.
Thank you, Caroline, for that kind welcome to the territory. I would now like to welcome the Honourable Janet Austin for her opening remarks.
Thanks, Amanda, and good afternoon, friends. It's absolutely wonderful to have you all here today. As always, I too would like to acknowledge the Lekwungen peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt, upon whose traditional territory we gather today, and to thank them for sharing these lands in peace and friendship. Aitsquaicho, Stelacha, Aikwanis Kwanangahela, which is good day, dear friends. It's wonderful to be among you today, and I do mean that so very, very sincerely. I'd like to take a brief moment to comment on the practice of land acknowledgement, because I'm really proud that it's being adopted broadly across British Columbia and indeed across the country. But it's important that it be more than just a pro forma statement. So I try to take it as an opportunity to reflect on the legacy of colonialism, the harms of the past, and what I can do in my personal life and in my professional role to contribute to the healing that is needed in Canada. And so I will share with you that I'm a 7th generation Canadian. My ancestors came to Cape Breton, Nova Scotia during the Scottish clearances when their lands were taken away by the aristocracy. And they found a great deal of happiness and success here in Canada, and that is success that I have subsequently benefited from. But I'm conscious that it's come at the expense of Indigenous peoples. And so for that reason, and because I hold the privilege of serving as Lieutenant Governor, I take it as a deep responsibility to be a visible and a vocal advocate for reconciliation in all its dimensions. Haichka Siam. I note as well, I guess in that vein, that a few days ago we marked Red Dress Day. And this is a time to reflect on the tragic deaths of so many Indigenous women and girls, and an opportunity to renew our commitment to stand up against the appalling history of misogyny and hate practiced against them. Haichka. As I said, it is my enormous privilege to welcome all of you here to Government House to celebrate the diverse contributions of the recipients of the 2022 and 23 BC Community Achievement Awards. I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. Walter Pela, who is the chair of the BC Achievement Foundation. And I have to say, Walter saved me from certain disaster this morning. We were on the same flight coming, Harbour Air flight coming from Vancouver. And I'm on a bit of a short leash these days. And so I happened to, by luck, get the chair at the back of the plane with the good leg room, which we all call Harbour Air business class. And so I leapt out of the plane and went rushing on my way. And I heard behind me, in the distance, sort of like a few muffled, honor, honor, honor. And I thought, no, nothing to do with me. And then I heard somewhat more loudly, Janet! And so Walter's racing after me with all his bags and with my bag, which I had just left. So I tell you honestly, I used to tease His Excellency David Johnston, our former Governor General, for doing the same thing in the airport once he retired from being Governor General, and it's happening to me now too. Anyway, Walter, thank you for that. I'm also pleased I want to introduce Herman Ho with St. John Ambulance and Major Randy Fisher, Canadian Cadets, who are assisting us today as honorary aides de camp. It's always a pleasure to work with these two. And also thank the members of the Achievement Foundation Board of Directors who join us today and the Selection Awards Committee who've put an awful lot of work into making, I think, some very difficult choices. So Mayor Maya Tate of Souk, Mayor Sarah Story, Fraser Lake, and past recipients Cal Dosanjh and Julie Fowler, thank you all so much for your contributions to this process. So in recent years, in British Columbia and around the world, we've seen numerous examples of extraordinary leadership to match these extraordinary times. We've witnessed the bravery of the Iranian women risking their lives in calling for gender equality and human rights, and the selfless determination of the Ukrainian people as they fight to defend their sovereignty, their territorial integrity, and their democracy, not just for themselves, but for all of us. They remind us of the fragility of democracy, of the fact that even the most seemingly stable of societies can be subject to authoritarian capture, and of the responsibility we all share to uphold democratic values, principles, and institutions, and to work for peace in an increasingly fractious world. This past weekend, we celebrated the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III, King of Canada, an occasion that causes us to reflect on the constant presence of the Crown in the lives of Canadians. I strongly believe that our constitutional monarchy is a stabilizing feature in the governance of our country. It links us outward to the Commonwealth, connects us to a tradition of parliamentary democracy, equality before the law, and protection of our human rights. Yet, it's flexible enough to have accommodated important reforms, such as the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. This balance of constancy and flexibility has provided the stable foundation for our democracy to thrive, enabling a robust but respectful exchange of different ideas and perspectives. At its best, democracy can provide opportunities for everyone to participate and allows people who disagree to share power. Of course, Canada is not a perfect country, and we have work to do in many areas. But I do believe that we come closer to the ideal of democracy than almost any other country in the world, and that is something to be valued and nurtured. Generous and inspiring leadership comes in many forms, and here in our province, we've been blessed with many recent examples. Today, we celebrate you, our exemplars of civil society. Having spent much of my career in the company of remarkable community leaders, I've witnessed the profound and transformative effect that citizens like you can have on our communities. To recognize such people who are changing our communities for the better is an honor of great personal significance to me, and what a truly extraordinary group you are. In reading the citations, I could not but be struck by the diversity of the contributions we celebrate today. And despite your varied interests and concerns, you're united by a shared motivation to be of service, to improve the lives of others, to fortify the health of our communities, and to broaden opportunities for all. British Columbia has enormous strengths, but the challenges we face are complex and interrelated. Our readiness to meet these challenges and the very stability of our society depends to a large degree on the health of our communities and the contributions of exemplary citizens such as yourselves, contributions that are all the more to be valued in this time of uncertainty for so many. I have a new favorite saying, which is, "The future is not something we passively enter, it is something we create." The choices we make now will shape the world for all who come after us, for better or worse. And so I thank you for your role in making it better, for demonstrating that we can be more than just individual actors engaged in our own pursuits that serve our own self-interest, but rather citizens who share responsibility for each other and for the planet and must act accordingly. It is sometimes said that the greatest gift possible is the gift of oneself, and we owe you much gratitude for giving that gift so very generously to all of us. You're an inspiration to British Columbians, and certainly you're an inspiration to me. You give me hope for a better world. You truly do. Heichka, merci. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now we will turn the proceedings over to your Director of Ceremonies today, Mr. Walter Pela, the Chair of BC Achievement.
Thank you, Amanda, for those words. I'm very honored to be here. And Your Honor, thank you for your continued stewardship of all British Columbians and for over the province. And I would also say that I would be deeply honored and privileged to carry your bags anywhere throughout British Columbia, as I know anybody in this room and any British Columbian would. And I would also like to say that thank you for giving meaning and emphasis on the importance of land acknowledgements. And on that front, I would also like to acknowledge with respect the Algonquin peoples, the Songhees, the Esquimalt First Nations, on whose traditional territory we visit today. The BC Achievement Foundation is the presenting organization for the Community Award Program today. We also deliver 4 additional programs, each celebrating the spirit of excellence in our province. The Applied Art and Design Award, the Polygon Award in First Nations Art, the Indigenous Business Award, and in partnership with the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, the BC Reconciliation Award. 5 years ago, BC Achievement celebrated its 15th annual Community Award ceremony here at Government House, which began her honors term as the 30th Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia. Your leadership continues to be inspirational, meaningful, and delivered with sincere conviction. And I know I speak for all of us in the room today to acknowledge your considered impact and expressing all of our heartfelt gratitude. And of course, we're delighted to be continuing the tradition of presenting the Community Award in Government House, the ceremonial home of all British Columbians. And so thank you, Your Honor. Now, 2023 marks the 20th anniversary of the BC Achievement Foundation and the Community Award Program. And so it's important to note the context and the meaning of today's ceremony. It's a testament to the best of BC. The program has lifted up and told stories of over 650 amazing British Columbians, all who have carved a path forward through their community achievement. Achievement which requires strength, courage, and skills, and for others to emulate. And in doing so, building stronger and more vibrant communities and more engaged communities. So as we celebrate the first 2 decades of honoring citizens who build communities in this province, I'm also pleased to announce a new category saluting youth who are leading the way. The Emerging Leader Award designation, which will launch in 2024. And as we look to the future and the challenges that lie ahead, it's more important than ever to recognize the achievements of youth in our province. They are the ones that will lead us forward, and we need to support and encourage them every step of the way. The mission of BC Achievement is to elevate excellence, to inspire achievement. We want to recognize and celebrate the strength, courage, and skill of youth and young people who are making a difference in our communities and striving to make BC a better place. The definition of achievement is not limited to accomplishments in fields such as sports, academics, or arts. It encompasses all aspects of life and activity, including community service, sustainability, and innovation, just to name a few areas. So the Emerging Leader Award designation will be a platform for the next generation of leaders to showcase their skills, share their stories, and inspire change. And so we're excited to embark on this new initiative and new chapter for the Community Leader Awards. Now, speaking of outstanding community leadership, a warm welcome to many civic and provincial leaders here today. Thank you for being here to honor the Community Award recipients who do so much to lift up our communities. We also welcome the nominators, the friends, the colleagues, the family and past recipients, all who have traveled to Government House to witness the importance of achievement and to celebrate the awardees and their amazing accomplishments. Many of you who have made possible these accomplishments of the recipients that we're honoring here this afternoon. So thank you for being here and celebrating and showing your support. Now, the reason why we are here today, the 2023 Community Award presentation. First, I would like to express the appreciation from the board of the outstanding work of the Community Award Selection Committee. They're sitting in the front here. The 2023 jury panel who were given the very difficult but very rewarding task of reviewing the many nominations of outstanding British Columbians. Thank you for your commitment and your effort in a very demanding selection process. And please stand as you're introduced, and may I ask the audience to please hold your applause until they're all acknowledged. Mayor Sarah Story of Fraser Lake, Mayor Maya Tate of Souk, and past awardees and program alumni Cal Dosange of Surrey, and Julie Fowler of Penticton, and Bill Yoakum Squally Sultan of Nanaimo, who unfortunately is unable to join us, but sends his personal congratulations to each of the awardees. Thank you. And now it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce a past board member and Community Award Program alumnus, Yuri Fulmer, a 2010 awardee, to lead us through the recipient presentations. Yuri.
Thank you, Walter, and thank you, Your Honour, for continuing to celebrate, inspire, and connect the citizens of this great province. It's a privilege for me to be back at Government House to address and showcase the Community Award Program recipients. A brief word about today's recipients. In addition to the 2023 awardees, we're so pleased that 3 individuals who were unable to join us last year at the 2022 celebration are with us this afternoon. A warm welcome to all of you. Each of you has made unique contributions to your communities, either as a volunteer or through your daily work, and for many of you, it's both. You go above and beyond in your dedication and your service to others, and devote your time and energy to making your communities more caring, dynamic, and unique. The models of practice each of you has built and instilled in your immediate community are being expanded, replicated, and grown because of your leadership. You inspire by example. The award program is memorable and significant because of you. As Walter noted earlier, you're in the company of over 650 British Columbians whose stories have been shared for the last 20 years. Your individual records of service, taken together, describe the very best of our home here in British Columbia. You and your family should be proud of the work you have done. Certainly BC Achievement is, and grateful to recognize you and inspire others to follow in your footsteps. Today, each of you will receive a Certificate of Achievement, as well as a BC Achievement Medallion and a matching lapel pin, featuring a design by renowned artist Robert Davidson, whose words resonate with the intent of all BC Achievement Awards programs. And they are these: cultural hero, spirited, undaunted, fearless, bold, raising our awareness to a higher understanding. Please wear your lapel pin with pride and continue to inspire change. These commemorative pieces honor your achievements and celebrate the spirit, imagination, dedication, and astounding contributions of British Columbians to their communities. Before we begin, if I could have a personal word to each of you, which is, as you come up here, your temptation will be to stand on the X, stare at your feet humbly, because you're humble people, and think of things like, I wonder if Her Honour's hands will be clammy, and will I make the ferry on time, and will I trip on stage? Can I ask you to be un-Canadian and not do those things today. Her Honor's hands are indeed not clammy, I have checked. If you fall, Her Honor and I will pick you up. And there are lots of berries. Come up here, stand here. I'm going to be your mother now. Stand here with your back straight, your head held high. Stare out into whoever's in the audience who's here for you. And if nobody was able to be here, Her Honor and I are here for you. Listen carefully as somebody, and it's going to be me today, sings your praises. You deserve to be on this stage. You earned the right to be on this stage. Please enjoy the moment. Today it is about you. Maclean's magazine held a contest. Yeah, thank you. And now for the audience. Maclean's magazine years ago held a contest to come up with the Canadian equivalent of As American as Apple Pie. And the winner was As Canadian as It's Possible to Be Under the Circumstances. We are not going to be that kind of audience today. As Her Honor said, this is the people's house, and so today you are the people. And I know often somebody like me stands here and says, hold your applause till the end, and please, have polite applause. It's not that kind of crowd. When somebody walks across that stage who you know, or even if you don't know them, feel free to cheer, applaud, jump on the furniture, whatever you need to do. It is the people's house, though as Her Honor will tell you, it is not the people's silverware later, so please do leave that. But please, please, use this moment to celebrate everybody. Let's not be modest Canadians today. Let's cheer loudly, and let's cheer strongly, and let's encourage all of us to be better British Columbians, like the 23 recipients we have in front of us. Are we ready? Should we do this? I call upon Dr. Amy Gilchrist of Victoria. Trademark optimism, coupled with a caring and generous spirit, infuse Amy's leadership as clinical director of the Family Naturopathic Clinic in Victoria. Through a unique blend of hands-on teaching and training, she enables her team of colleagues and students to teach and to learn while providing naturopathic support to low-income marginalized families. Since founding the clinic in 2007, Amy has ensured naturopathic medicine is accessible for all, empowering people to support themselves in ways that lead to greater overall health and wellness. Amy views her efforts and the clinic's working model as having the multiplier effect on the delivery of care to those who previously could not access naturopathic services. This collaborative model fosters compassion in care and is a direct result of Amy's vision, innovation, and commitment to her community. Your Honor, I present Dr. Amy Gilchrist. I call upon Jack Jin of Burnaby. Finding Frederick Lee, an award-winning documentary film, is a gift from Jack to all British Columbians. With humility and great attention to detail, Jack has dedicated countless hours to uncovering and telling the important story of Frederick Lee, a fallen member of the Kamloops Rocky Mountain Rangers, and one of the few Chinese Canadians who served in World War I. Jack's film tells the compelling tale of a long-lost Canadian hero while shedding light on a little-known Reserve Army regiment. His search for the truth has instilled pride in the Chinese Canadian community in both Kamloops and Vancouver, underpinning that, as a nation, we remember without exclusion. Jack also ensured Frederick Lee's origins were included at the Hill 70 Memorial in France, where its feature walkway bears his name. Thanks to Jack's work, a new generation of students is learning about Frederick Lee's service and ultimate sacrifice for his country. Your Honor, I present Jack Jin. I call upon James Harry Sr. of Burnaby. A deeply committed individual, James strengthens communities in Vancouver's downtown east side and in First Nations across the province. He provides holistic and culturally relevant support to Indigenous peoples struggling with substance use disorder, mental health challenges, and homelessness. Whether he meets over coffee, helps to access detox, or drives an individual 18 hours to their home nation, James is a difference maker. He readily admits that he has found his purpose in helping others heal, that the simple act of being there, holding out his hand to someone to say they are loved and that their nation misses them, gives people the glimmer of hope that they deserve to heal too. As the Heisler First Nations' first urban outreach and peer support worker, James founded the All Nations Outreach Society, which houses a trauma-informed approach centered around trust and respect for cultural considerations. James's work is a testament to how First Nations come together to share their resources and support each other in caring for their most vulnerable members who need to know that they are loved and that they matter. Your Honor, I present James Harry Sr. I call upon Kat Hartwig of Briscoe. With an unwavering commitment to freshwater protection in BC, Kat has worked diligently to shape a climate-resilient future for her community for the past 2 decades. Recognizing that global water challenges need to be addressed at the local level, Kat empowers communities to find climate adaptation strategies. She has led many conservation initiatives in the Columbia Basin and beyond. As founder and executive director of Living Lakes Canada, her work has had positive effects on a regional, national, and international level, and her dedicated vision touches the lives of those she leads. As an advocate for the inclusion of Indigenous knowledge in water management policy, Kat has prioritized strong working relationships with First Nations. Her commitment to water stewardship is interwoven with a desire to empower young people to make a meaningful contribution towards addressing the climate crisis. Kat's effort and leadership remind us that we are all interconnected, while challenging all of us that we have a responsibility to step up for future generations. Your Honor, I present Kat Hartwig. I call upon Simon Daniel James of Bowen Island. Simon Daniel, also known as Wanadzi, is a highly acclaimed Kwawakiwak artist who works across many mediums. He started carving cedar at the age of 15 with his father and has since contributed to numerous community and public art projects worldwide, sharing his traditions and craftsmanship. Simon Daniel has also made a significant impact in local schools, using creativity and compassion to nurture young learners through the power of art. Each school was left with a beautifully carved art piece, representative of the experience, and even more importantly, was the relational impact Simon Daniel created through his work. In addition to creating carvings and art, Simon Daniel is a gifted filmmaker and storyteller. He developed Raven Tales, a groundbreaking animated Indigenous storytelling series. As a teacher, he works alongside his students as an advocate, infusing his teachings with patience and wisdom to inspire his students. Your Honor, I present Simon Dames Daniel. I call upon David Lemon of Delta. The universal language of music underlines David's passion to ensuring that people living in care facilities around our province are given access to quality performances. He was determined that this audience be served with good music, just like any other audience. As the founder of the non-profit Health Arts Society in British Columbia, which operates the Concerts in Care program, David has enriched the lives of over 500,000 people, and he is responsible for creating one of the largest performing arts organizations in the province. He has attracted contributions from top concert artists, organizations, funders, and volunteers, and audience reactions have been emotional and poignant, as they never expected to hear that caliber of performance again. It is a reciprocal gift, as performers have shared that they feel an extra connection with this audience who so appreciate their music. David has also mentored others in replicating his model of engagement and commitment, delivering concerts to elders throughout Canada. His labor of love provides a dose of delight and dignity to an eager and receptive audience nationwide. Your Honor, I present David Lem. I call upon Connie Lissigar Kokia of West Vancouver. A passionate advocate for the autistic and neurodiverse community, Connie inspires individuals and families to feel a sense of belonging. She ensures the community has a place in this world and is one of the best people to show them the way. Exuding a familiar presence, Connie makes her community feel that they belong together as part of a family. She built a support group for siblings of people with autism called Growing Together, through which she has galvanized a community to act and learn. She has raised funds, organized events, and at the Pacific Autism Family Network's hub, created a thoughtful and sensitive games room. Connie's recent feature film, When Time Got Louder, which she wrote, directed, and produced, has been widely acclaimed for its authentic casting and deeply moving narrative. Her tenacity and vision shine through this engaging, coming-of-age, LGBTQ+ film, which highlights the importance of inclusion and the unconditional love between siblings. Autism can rob a family of community experiences, and Connie has worked to develop meaningful inclusion through her committed, creative activism. Your Honor, I present Connie Lissigar Kokia. I call upon Mika Morgan of Ashcroft. As the founding artistic director of Tecumseh Rivers Remix, BC's first Indigenous-led festival of contemporary Indigenous music and culture, Mika has built a network of talent and belief. This free, grassroots event reflects the diversity of all nations and has showcased over 100 Indigenous artists. Mika, who is of Secwepemc and Nuchalath, ancestry, strives for an assertion of culture, identity, territory, homeland, healing, and joy, and encourages anyone who arrives on the festival's lands to be treated as guests. Despite a fire that destroyed much of the site, homes, and equipment in 2021, Mika led the festival through these challenges with grit and perseverance and delivered the 2RMX movable feast enabling small Indigenous communities to create their own local cultural events. Mika embodies the spirit of community and giving back, and her ability to bridge and share culture between groups is exemplary, reflected in every role she undertakes. Your Honor, I present Mika Morgan. I call upon Jerry Naleston of Salmo. Jerry is a trailblazer in his community, dedicated to protecting and restoring threatened fish and wildlife and their habitats in the Salmo watershed and beyond. As the founder and driving force behind the Salmo Watershed Streamkeepers Society, he has raised funds for critical in-stream habitat restoration work and launched long-term fisheries projects to protect the watershed for future generations. Always seeking more engagement for watershed protection, Jerry organized and coordinated the multi-stakeholder committee to produce a comprehensive, action-based plan. He is also a salmon ambassador for the Knaka First Nation, touring elementary, high schools, and colleges in the region to talk about salmon and their recovery. Jerry's commitment to collaboration and hands-on activism, including rolling boulders, drilling cable tethers, and creating ecosystem improvements, embody his stewardship, ethics, principles, and values. His lifelong dedication sets the course for a better future. Your Honor, I present Jerry Naleston. I call upon Kim North of Lillooet. Kim is a dynamic force for change in her community, driving volunteer and work-related contributions that benefit Lillooet. Her ability to connect people and realize the impossible describes her steadfast commitment. After identifying the need for more collaboration, Kim stewarded the Community Connect Hub into being. The hub now provides co-sharing space for multiple nonprofits and builds connections across the community. She also played a key role in raising critical funds to open the local swimming pool, enabling the community to say yes to this essential public resource. Kim has also given her time to the Lillooet Naturalist Society and Sequelwas to complete ecological restoration and environmental outreach projects in the region. Her dedication to reconciliation and decolonization is evident in her advocacy and leadership in bringing these important conversations to the table. Kim's work is inspiring and valued as she consistently leads as part of the solution, sparking curiosity and connecting diverse communities with an ambition to learn more and innovate. Your Honor, I present Kim North. I call upon Don Philip Peters of North Vancouver. A poster child for how to make vital contributions to build an inclusive and diverse community, Don is a staunch champion for affordable housing. Following an impressive career as a teacher and administrator, Don has dedicated his retirement to being of service as the chair of the Community Housing Action Committee, a program of North Shore Community Resources. A skilled relationship builder, Don has established trusted connections with municipal staff, councillors, housing operators, apartment owners, builders, and developers. He remains a strong voice for housing affordability and for respectful treatment of tenants, and above all else is dedicated to educating others on one of the most critical issues of our time. By sharing his knowledge and experience, Don is working to ensure that people are affordably housed, now and in the future. Your Honour, I present Don Philip Peters. I call upon Stephanie Kwan of Vancouver. An energetic and enterprising leader, Stephanie embodies initiative, teamwork, and going above and beyond in all she undertakes. As a forward-thinking UBC engineering student, she prioritizes accessibility, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Stephanie organizes STEM events for young people and serves as the president of UBC Women in Engineering, which hosts professional development and community building events for engineering students. As a teenager, Stephanie founded the Sprouts Initiative, a community enterprise which focuses on accessibility, sustainability, and community building. As the initiative's executive director, she has raised an impressive $670,000 in funding for community projects and has also volunteered hundreds of hours as a crisis line volunteer. With a profound sense of kindness, inclusivity, and care, Stephanie leads by example, inspiring others to follow in her footsteps. Your Honour, I present Stephanie Kwan. I'm at the point now where I've started to tilt. I call upon Sahara Sheikh of Vancouver. Looking for an affordable place to live is daunting. For Sahara, it sparked a passion to become involved and advocate for co-op housing. No stranger to the value of volunteering, Sahara has made a lasting impact on her community, from mentoring children with special needs to supporting those experiencing homelessness in Vancouver's downtown east side. Now, as a recognized leader in the cooperative housing movement for lower-income Canadians, she draws on her personal experience and a sense of duty to sit on provincial and federal boards for the Cooperative Housing Federation of BC. She's a strong voice for our province and never hesitates to roll up her sleeves and drive movements forward, serving as a positive role model in her community. Your Honour, I present Sahara Sheikh. I call upon Jesse Sutherland of Richmond. I told you somebody would be there to pick you up. As founder of the organization Intercultural Strategies, Jesse fosters inclusive and positive change by helping leaders and groups build cultures of belonging. She is the innovative force behind the award-winning Belonging Matters Conversations series and has created a capacity-building framework designed to change mindsets, strengthen interconnections, and impart greater social capital. Jessie's work has been delivered in over 8 languages and taken her across Canada and around the world, supporting communities in their efforts to address challenging issues. A respected project leader on the reconciliation journey, Jessie has worked with Indigenous and non-Indigenous organizations, facilitating dialogues on decolonization. She deeply understands that building cultures of belonging is truly an inside-out job that stretches people personally and professionally. Sharing her lens of belonging openly, Jessie challenges us to rethink our efforts and see the value of prioritizing inclusivity. Your Honor, I present Jessie Sutherland. I call upon Apka Singh Tatley of Surrey. Apka changes lives, and he does so by activating communities to be part of the solution to help meet the health and social needs of underserved, marginalized, and vulnerable individuals. He began his community service journey in his adolescence by volunteering at nonprofit organizations throughout BC, where he saw a need for accessible programming for children, youth, and families facing socioeconomic challenges. His early exposure to the growing needs of families led him to form the Engaged Communities Canada Society. Throughout the pandemic, Apka was able to meet the urgent and growing needs of at-risk populations through the work of the Society, which delivered food, personal hygiene supplies, services, testing and vaccines, extreme weather response resources, and crucial youth programs to those in need. Most recently, Apka has mobilized a response to the drug toxicity crisis and developed the Overdose Intervention app, a free, multilingual tool that engages a community, not just those directly affected by the crisis. Apka's message is simple. He rallies British Columbians to keep an eye on each other and make sure everyone is okay by delivering innovative tools, technologies, and volunteers to improve health outcomes. Apka's impact reaches thousands of individuals across BC each year. Your Honor, I present Apka Singh Tatley. I call upon Gary Thandy of Surrey. Compassionate leadership, dedication, and flexibility led Gary to his role as founder and executive director of Moving Forward Family Services. Gary's strong spirit of community building has transcended into the agency he founded, as well as into the lives of each of the individuals it supports. The agency provides low-barrier counseling to the most vulnerable, using a unique model which engages graduates and intern counselors to provide free and low-cost counseling services to those in need. A mutually beneficial service which counsels over 2,000 people monthly at little or no charge. This initiative reflects Gary's strong sense of public service and his focus to meet people where they are in life. He seeks out partners from traditionally marginalized communities and offers services in over 26 languages. Gary lifts others up in such a way that their knowledge and perspectives can be shared. A pioneer in the local social service space, Gary fosters multiculturalism and accessibility while supporting counseling clients and interning students. His ethos of "no one will be turned away" is the foundation of his work and embodies his commitment to service, inclusion, mentorship, philanthropy, and safe connections. Your Honor, I present Gary Thandy. I call upon Dr. Vivian Sang of Vancouver. Vivian advocates for a world with equitable access to healthcare and empowers others even in the midst of adversity. Through her charity, the Hope Initiative Foundation, Vivian has developed a platform for youth to get involved in community service that helps reduce healthcare barriers for BC's most vulnerable citizens. Her creation of Hope has engaged and trained over 3,000 youth eager to be change makers who can make a difference. Vivian leverages these experiences to inspire others by speaking on topics from education reform to stigmatization and the opioid crisis. Vivian's commitment is widespread. She has served on the City of Vancouver's Child, Family and Youth Committee, and she helped develop a policy paper to advocate for increased resources for youth mental health. During the pandemic, Vivian also co-founded the BC COVID-19 Medical Student Response Team, a group that eventually expanded throughout Western Canada to mobilize thousands of medical students. Vivian's grassroots advocacy is changing lives of British Columbians while galvanizing the next generation into action. Your Honor, I present Dr. Vivian Sang. I call upon Kiranjoth Kaur Tour of Surrey. Kiran has been committed to volunteerism since she was 14 years old, driven by her wishes to see her community and its youth thrive. As the president and co-founder of the Kids Play Foundation, Kiran injects her energizing spirit into the organization, which provides sport, education, mentorship, and counseling opportunities to vulnerable youth, establishing a sense of belonging and self-worth in their daily lives. With a degree in education from Simon Fraser University, Kiran has used her expertise to make a difference for the youth who have gone through Kids Play's numerous programs. She is grateful to have had access to a post-secondary education and feels that with such privilege, she has responsibility. With deep roots grounded in her South Asian background and the Kaljadar Trust, Kiran has leveraged the ethics of service and faith in her work at Kids Play to serving and supporting young people in her community. Your Honor, I present Kiranjoth Kaur Tour. I call upon Spencer Van Vloten of Vancouver. Spencer is a dedicated full-time volunteer, and that's outside of his full-time job, who advocates for inclusive communities through collaboration. The founding force behind bcdisability.com, Spencer has built a community which helps persons with disabilities and their allies connect with resources and support. Through BC Disability, Spencer enables thousands of British Columbians to access vital information to promote physical and mental well-being, locate funding, and find adapted programs. Spencer has mentored youth and young adults for 2 decades and serves as the chair of Community Living BC's Vancouver Council. A talented author with national publications to his name, Spencer writes on community inclusion. One compelling piece led to the City of Vancouver declaring October as Community Inclusion Month. Spencer's latest endeavor is the Vancouver Community Pocketbook, a free, printed guide of local resources, tips, and interviews to help people overcome barriers to find community support. Spencer's vision and tenacity are a testament to his passion for inclusiveness and accessibility. Your Honor, I present Spencer Van Vloten. I call upon Kilura Christian White and Candace Weir White of Masset. As Haida cultural ambassadors, Kilura, Christian, and Candace are visionaries who blend compassion, strength, and understanding to elevate their people and community. Their unabashed dedication to creating equal opportunities for their people and all whom they encounter define their collective leadership. As lifelong learners from a young age, being in the presence of their elders, both Candace and Christian accepted their place to be knowledge keepers of Haida protocols and traditions. Christian is a globally recognized Haida master carver, educator, mentor, and elder, dedicated to working with youth and elders in intergenerational programs and venues. Candace is a Haida song and dance leader, an apprentice and learner of the language with elders. Candace also plans and arranges all aspects of cultural events in their community. Christian and Candace lead by doing and being. They are dedicated to learning, teaching, and ensuring a future for their Haida culture. Together, they continue to seek knowledge and wisdom, share and teach others by being leaders within their community, and strive to carry on the work for the present, the future, and for the people. Your Honor, I present Kilura Christian White and Candace Weir White. What little control Her Honor and I had was gone. I call upon Anthony and Nancy Jokovic of Richmond. Tony and Nancy's transformative leadership has infused and gathered their Richmond and surrounding community together to inspire and change. Their willingness to consistently step up and encourage others to consider how everyone might contribute has led the way for numerous successful projects. They value the contributions of school children, knowing that early experiences of giving back lead to a lifetime of community involvement. In addition to being strong advocates for medical causes, including mental health, home care, and end-of-life care, Tony and Nancy support local and international projects through their membership in the Rotary Club of Richmond. One of their many contributions is the establishment of the first freestanding community hospice in Richmond, Rotary Hospice House, which opened its doors 18 years ago. They are steadfast supporters of Pathways Clubhouse in Richmond and made a gift to Vancouver General for a new library, giving patients greater access to medical information. Tony and Nancy have supported UBC's agricultural and food sustainability programs and publicly encouraged the people of Richmond to participate in the dream, which has now been realized, for the new acute care tower at Richmond Hospital. And all of their efforts are done with the utmost kindness. Driven by their compassion for others, Tony and Nancy have dedicated their lives, careers, and resources to being champions of care. Your Honor, I present Anthony and Nancy Jokovic. I'm going to suggest that if they don't mind, the recipients all stand. If you wouldn't mind turning around and facing the audience, and audience, go nuts! Congratulations to each of the recipients. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my honor to present to 23 of the most amazing British Columbians to read their citations today. Thank you.
I would say a round of applause for Yuri, and you were incredible. I think your support and enthusiasm for this program is underscored by your presentation today. We're very grateful. As a program alumnus and as past director, as I mentioned before, of BC Achievement Foundation, we are gratefully indebted to you for your continued support for the work that we do. And to the awardees, individually, you are each inspiring. I think collectively, you are truly amazing. So thank you and congratulations again. And now to say a few words on behalf of the recipients, please welcome Kat Hartwig to the podium.
Thank you, Walter, for the introduction. Your Honor, fellow recipients. We acknowledge with respect the Lekwungen people, the Songhees, and the Esquimalt First Nations on whose traditional territories we are visiting today. I'm grateful to be here, and it is a distinct privilege to speak on behalf of my fellow award recipients, whose stories and achievements are both uplifting and inspiring. It has been heartwarming to learn about the commitment, kindness, and vision embodied in the work of the award recipients. It can feel as though this remarkable work is eclipsed by seemingly insurmountable challenges facing society today. So celebrating our successes through the BC Achievement Community Award helps to bolster our fortitude to carry on. My parents immigrated to this country after World War II, and I grew up on our family ranch near Invermere, where my bond with nature was firmly established. I've been privileged enough to find a path of work in the environmental and water stewardship. This work has been deeply rewarding despite the overwhelming sense of urgency to address the climate and biodiversity crises we have put ourselves in. Fortunately, we also find ourselves in a long overdue era of applied reconciliation, where we have been given another chance to heal relationships with the original people of this land. Perhaps through this process, we will learn how to cultivate more respectful relationships with the land and with the water that we ultimately all depend upon. So in service to our communities and by mentoring applied optimism for our young people, we may rejoice in the collective action we all strive to inspire. Today, we celebrate work that addresses inclusion, accessibility, equity, health, and creativity for the most vulnerable in our province. From Masset to Salmo, from Victoria to Lillooet, from Surrey, Richmond, Delta, Vancouver, Burnaby, Bowen Island, to Ashcroft and Briscoe. To quote Dao Young-ming, a Chinese poet born over 1,600 years ago, "Though I am different from you, we were born involved in one another. Not by any means can we escape the intimate sharing of good and ill." The BC Achievement Community Award Program provides the space for us to gather, share, and celebrate the good with our families and friends, and inspires achievement. Thank you very much. It's been an honor.
Thank you, Kat. Kat, on behalf of the BC Achievement Award, I'm pleased to present the 2023 Mitchell Award of Distinction to you, instituted in 2017 and named after Keith Mitchell, the late Keith Mitchell, BC Achievement's founding chair and guiding light for 13 years. The Mitchell Award designation recognizes an individual who, through his or her work and volunteer activities, has demonstrated a unique and selfless leadership style that empowers others to engage and lead. And Kat, thank you for your leadership as a change maker in your community, and particularly in environmental stewardship and addressing this pressing challenge of global water challenges. So a lasting legacy in BC, but also beyond globally. So empowering those and helping others take action. So thank you again and congratulations. We are fortunate as well to have a number of past recipients in the audience, and thank you to all of you for being here and welcome. Thanks for witnessing the ceremony. To today's recipients, your journey with BC Achievement is just the beginning. Collectively, we are really delighted to congratulate and welcome all of you as part of this growing Community Award Program alumni. So thanks to each and every one of you for joining us and celebrating the community awardees. I do also want to take a moment to thank Catherine Wilson and the BC Achievement team. They work tirelessly to execute this program as well as the other programs that we run. So thank you, and thank you to And thank you to the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, who do such a tremendous job with this ceremony. Now, I do challenge everyone to look ahead and identify the heroes from your communities and hashtag #NominateNowBC for the 2024 award program, and do consider the nomination opportunities within the newly minted Emerging Leader designation and elevate their achievements as well. So if you know any candidates who would be ideal for BC Achievement's other award programs, please consider nominating them. And just on that front, the Indigenous Business Award is open this entire month, and then in June we will open the Polygon Award in First Nation Arts, as well as the Applied Art and Design Award. And so again, I challenge all of you to nominate now BC. Together, we will tell stories of what makes our province and its communities achieve excellence and inspire change, and that's what today is all about. So thank you, and Amanda, over to you.
Another round of applause for Walter and for Yuri for sharing these inspiring stories today. Now, as the final item, before you get to enjoy some wonderful refreshments and food, I'll try to be brief. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this incredible ceremony and sharing your inspiring stories. In a few moments, the dining room doors to my left will open, and you're invited to enjoy the reception. There are washrooms located downstairs and an accessible washroom to my right in the lobby. To conclude the ceremony today, may you please rise, if comfortable doing so, for the departure of Her Honor and the official party and the Community Award recipients. Thank you so much, enjoy the afternoon, and congratulations.